our Robin Redbreast is a pint of cream for ye. Because if you don't have it, them dratted coltits will. Dang pesky varmints. Yeah, here it is. Come on, me old darling. Sup up. That's that here. Steady. There you are. That should do you greedy buzzard. Aye.
I give anything to Worzel. I gave him half a bar of chocolate and he didn't even say thank you.
I told you he wouldn't. I don't know why you bother. It's Saturday. He always sulks on Saturday.
He's not sulking, he's reading.
Reading?
Oh, hello.
I never knew you could read, Worzel.
Ah, of course I can read. Well, I suppose I could if I knew where my reading had got to. I expect that farmer's wife took it. Boiled it up in the pot, most likely. You probably had it for your supper.
Ugh, revolting.
Anyway, I ain't reading, I was looking. Looking at a famous painting, so I am.
That's not a painting, that's a photograph.
Or is it? Yeah, well, look where it is. Have a look. Go and sit yourself down in an easy chair. That's it.
It's Aunt Sally.
Aye, they put her picture in the newspapers. On account of her being so handsome, I expect.
Listen. This Aunt Sally, a feature of county fairs and shows for many years, was stolen from the recent village fete.
Aye, stolen my boots. She run away. Hey, hey.
The Aunt Sally's owner, Mr. Shepherd, a well-known local personality, is offering a small reward for its safe return.
Oh, fat chance he'll have. She'll be in America by now, else Egypt. One or t'other. She'll be a princess with flowers in her hair. She won't have no time for a stupid old scarecrow, I don't suppose for a minute.
Poor old Worzel. Do you miss her?
Miss her? Why should I miss a bit of wood? Because that's all she is.
I wonder how big the reward is.
I don't care if it's £1 million. If we find Aunt Sally, we're not telling horrible old Mr. Shepherd. We're telling Worzel.
If you should happen to see her lying in a ditch somewhere, you just tells her that there's a nice warm barn up here at Scatterbrook. Mark.
I didn't hear anything.
Of course you didn't. You haven't got scarecrow ears. Because if you had scarecrow ears, you could hear worms coming up. Someone's coming.
John? Sue? Ah, there you are. What are you hiding away in here for, then?
We're playing at houses, Mr. Braithwaite.
Well, you should be out in the fresh air on a day like this. Now, look, I want you to take these apples round to Mrs. Bloomsbury Barton and make sure she pays you for them. Don't let her get away with it by giving you a cup of tea and a slice of cake. Now, come on. Oh, have we got rats in here, then? Must have heard me talking about cake. Let's fix him. Come on. Come on.
Well, what a good thing I saw you. Now I've saved you all the trouble of going round to the front door. Put the apples on the table, will you, John? No, dear, not on the polished one, on the silver tray. That's it. Right, now, Susan, if you'll ring that bell, we can have some tea and cake. You do like cake, don't you?
Yes, Mrs. Bloomsbury.
Right, sit down, children. I must ask you to thank Mr. Braithwaite very much for the apples. It was so thoughtful of him to send them over.
He did say something about paying for them.
Oh, did he? Well, now, where's my new checkbook? Well, never mind. We'll have tea first. Oh, and by the way, you may find my new housemaid a little strange, but I must ask you not to stare at her, because she takes offense very easily. Come in. Now, remember, no staring.
Yes, madam.
Ah, Sally, we would like some tea.
Yes, madam.
Indian, not China.
Yes, madam.
And cake.
No, madam.
But I only had one slice. What's happened to it?
Mice, madam. And what's wrong with you, may I ask? Haven't you ever heard a housemaid hiccup before?
That'll do, Sally. We'll have chocolate biscuits instead.
Yes, madam.
Really, children, where were you brought up?
No. Yes, we've got to. We're not going to tell him. Yes.
It's bad manners to whisper.
Yes, Dad.
If you've got anything to say, you say it out loud.
Yes, Dad.
Honestly, you could get a job in a Punch and Judy show, you two could. I'm going across to see if that time switch on Mr. Braithwaite's couch is working properly.
No. Yes. We're not telling him, and that's that. We've got to. You know what'll happen, Sue? He'll go over there and start making trouble, and we'll get the blame for it. We've got to. He's been looking for her everywhere. Let him go on looking, then.
You are horrible. All right, I'll go and tell him myself, and you can keep out of it.
I'll tell you what we ought to do. Go and tell Mr. Shepherd. Then we'll get that reward.
If you dare go near Mr. Shepherd, I'll never speak to you again as long as I'll live. And I'll bash you. Morning, Mr. Braithwaite.
Hello, Sue.
Worzel, can you hear me? Oh, Worzel, don't sulk. I've got something to tell you. Oh, I see. Look, I'll whisper it. Aunt Sally is at Mrs. Bloomsbury Barton's house.
What do you want? If you're the rag and bone man, I've nothing for you.
No, I am the rag and bone man.
Mrs. Bloomsbury Barton's residence. Oh, good morning, Lady Partington. Yes, this is Mrs. Bloomsbury Barton speaking. Oh, how very kind of you. I should be delighted. It'll be such a pleasure to see your lovely grounds again. I'll order the car straight away.
Yes, madam.
Sally, I've been invited to Partington Hall for the weekend.
Yes, madam.
So you'll be in the house on your own. Do you think you can manage?
Yes, madam.
Of course, I shall pack away the silver. But I don't want you to open the door to any suspicious characters. There was one just roaming around in the grounds, and I sent him packing. If it should happen again, you set the dogs on him. All of them.
Yes, madam.
Are you hungry?
Yes? Oh, a common peddler selling flowers. Be so good as to take them round to the tradesman's entrance.
No, I ain't selling them, Aunt Sally. I'm giving them away. They're for you, see?
Oh, thank you. I put them in water. Are you an admirer?
So, Worzel. Remember me, Worzel Gummidge?
Oh, well, one has so many friends. Did we meet at the Partingtons?
No, I don't think we met at the Partingtons. No, we met back at the coconut shy in the village fete first off. And then I rescued you from that there police station, remember?
Oh, yes, I did work at fetes and fairs for charity, you know. What do you want?
Well, I come looking for you, Aunt Sally. To ask you to marry me.
Did you indeed? And who told you where to find me?
Little birdie told me. My little Robin Redbreast. He told me you was working here.
Working here? Working? I've never done a day's work in my life, I thank you to know.
Oh.
I happen to live here.
Oh. Well, I thought this house belonged to the fat lady with the hat.
The fat lady with the hat happens to be my companion.
Oh.
I happen to inherit the house, and now I am the owner.
Oh, I see.
And if you don't believe me, wipe your feet and come in for some afternoon tea.
I could do with that, Aunt Sally.
I might invite you for the weekend.
Well, that'd be nice.
I do have people to stay, lords and ladies and things, but no one from America, of course.
No, of course. Oh, I've been in this room before, so I have. When that daft old woman thought that I was the handyman. Saw the furniture in there.
Yes, and it's all mine.
Oh.
You can sit on a chair if you like. Put your feet up on one of them tables.
What about my tea?
Oh, I shall have to prepare it myself.
Oh.
I've given all my servants the day off.
Oh, I see.
Will you excuse me, Mr. Gummidge?
Delighted, Miss Aunt Sally. Nice little house. Oh. Hello. Been on your holidays, have you? You got a nice tan up.
I wonder what he's doing.
Buying groceries. That's what he said.
Not Dad, Worzel.
Oh.
Do you think he's found Aunt Sally yet?
I don't know. I bet Mrs. Bloomsbury Barton's had him arrested.
Not Worzel, he's too clever. I bet he has found Aunt Sally and is asking her to marry him.
Just the kind of stupid thing he would do.
She'll make a lovely wife for him. And to think, I brought them together.
Oh.
Give us a hand, will you?
All right, yo. My, oh, my. That's a tea and half a tea, no mistake. Oh. I ain't seen a tea like that since I don't know when. Go down to this street. Oh, what have we got here? Hey, wait a minute. Have we got any boiled eggs then? I like a boiled egg to my tea, so I do.
Cakes first, boiled eggs afterwards.
You don't find cakes like that growing in North Villages?
I should think not, indeed. Only the best people can afford them. Do you like milk?
Oh, milk. I like milk.
In your tea?
Oh, I'll have some in that as well.
Sugar?
Oh, I like sugar. Hey.
Oh, how lower class. I always like a slice of lemon in my tea.
Oh, yes?
6 cakes or 7?
Well, I haven't got my counting there done. Which is most?
6.
Oh, that's what I love then, and thank you kindly.
There you are, 6 cakes. And you start on the jelly.
Oh, how many jelly do I get?
Oh, what a silly question. You don't say how many jelly, you say how much jelly. You get half, same as me. That's the same as a quarter. Only my quarter's a bit bigger than your quarter, because this happens to be my house.
Oh.
There's no need to slurp your tea. Only common people slurp.
Here, you're slurping yourself. Well, you are. You're slurping.
I wasn't slurping.
Yes, you was.
No, I was creaking. I happen to have rusty hinges. You'd have rusty hinges too if you'd like to sleep on an edge.
Oh, poor Aunt Sally. Is that where you ended up before you came into your inheritance? Your inheritance? Before you come into this big house?
I've reached the depths of degradation, if you must know. Much you care. I could have been chopped up into firewood for all the trouble you took to find me.
That's not true, Aunt Sally. I searched for you everywhere, I did. I did. But you've gone to America, you'll see, Egypt.
Or Romania. I could have gone to Romania. I had lots of offers, you know, from dukes and princes and people, but I decided to stay here and attend to my estate. One has servants' problems, of course. And then there's Mrs. Bloomsbury Barton, my dear, faithful companion. She's Barton, you know. Do you know? She won't mistook me for a maid.
No.
I mean, I ask you, do I look like a housemaid? Take your thieving hands off that chocolate cake.
That's my chocolate cake.
No, it isn't. You've had 5 cakes already.
Well, you said I could have 6.
Well, 5 is more than 6. You've had more than your fair share.
I had 1, 2, 3 cakes, and then another 1 and 2. And that makes 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And you've had 1, 2, 3, and another 1, 2, 3, and another 1. Therefore, that's my cake.
Okay, take it. See if I can. Perhaps you'd like this as well, eh?
Oh, well, 2 can play at that game. Are you ready for this?
My pretty face! You ruined my pretty face, you horrible heap of straw!
Oh-ho! I'll show you. Oh, yeah!
You hate that!
Scarecrow! Aha! Coconut shy!
Sit down properly.
Dad,
Yeah?
will we be going past Miss Bloomsbury Barton's?
Why?
I just thought we could pop in and see her.
Mrs. Bloomsbury Barton? Usually run a mile if she wobbles over the horizon.
Well, it's not her exactly. It's her new maid. We're friends. Sort of.
Speak for yourself.
And she does always give us a nice tea.
Yes, and she gives me nice jobs to do as well. And she doesn't pay for them. We've got a nice tea waiting at home anyway. Hello, talk with the devil.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, Aunt Sally. That was the bestest tea I've ever had.
Oh, did you like it? You must come again. I'm usually in on Wednesdays and Saturdays.
How long is it till Wednesday and Saturday?
Oh, months.
Oh, I don't think I can wait that long. This was the finest tea I've ever had, but I'm still a bit hungry. Not much of it went into my stomach, did it?
Oh, well, that's easily remedied. I've always got lots of food in case people come to dinner. I usually give them boiled eggs.
Oh, boiled eggs. You said I could have a few boiled eggs after I finished all my cake.
I see if I know how to make it. I usually leave it to the cook. Excuse me, Mr. Gummidge.
Sorry, Mrs. Bloomsbury Barton. I reckon you're going to need a new gearbox.
Oh, how very tiresome. Humphrey, run down to the village garage, will you, and see if you can find a good second-hand gearbox. How long is it going to take?
Well, it's a mechanic's job. Take hours.
But it can't take hours. I'm due at Partington Hall.
Well, give you a lift, I suppose.
In that, I'd sooner arrive in a dust cart. No, you can give me a lift back to Partington House, and I shall telephone from there for a hire car.
There we are. 24 boiled eggs and a loaf of bread cut into soldiers. What you doing there?
Oh, I'm going to ask you to marry me, Aunt Sally.
Don't be ridiculous. Besides, your boiled eggs will get cold.
Aunt Sally, I worship the ground that you walk on, and I humbly ask you for your hand in marriage.
But you're only a silly scarecrow. I am an Aunt Sally. I've been exhibited in the best fairgrounds in England. I've had wooden balls thrown at me by the landed gentry in person. I'm very sorry, but I could only marry a gentleman.
Oh, I could be a gentleman, Aunt Sally. I could be a gentleman. I could buy a top hat and live with you in this big house.
Quite impossible.
And I could buy a pair of spats so I could and talk all la-di-da. I've got a la-di-da head back at Scatterbrook. Them damnation pigs hadn't had it up.
But you've no manners, no breeding. You don't even know how to hold a knife and fork.
Of course I do. I've held many a knife and fork, so I have.
I doubt it. I doubt whether you could even eat a boiled egg like a gentleman.
I can eat a boiled egg like the highest-born gentleman who ever lived.
Then do it.
All right. Eat a boiled egg like a gentleman. Yes. Hey, that ain't fair. That's not a boiled egg at all, it's a raw egg.
I'm terribly sorry. I couldn't get the eggs into the kettle.
You've been having all Worzel Gummidge, what you've been doing, telling me to eat boiled eggs like a gentleman when they're raw eggs. Tain't fair. I'm going to have a sup.
Gentlemen don't sulk.
I ain't a gentleman, I's a scarecrow.
That's right. A stupid, ignorant, old scarecrow.
I don't know what you are, don't you? You're just a worm-eaten piece of old furniture.
What did you just call me? I beg leave to ask.
I said you were a worm-eaten piece of old furniture, a witch's broom, a stick with a no-scissor handle, a mouldy old coconut shine.
It's no good you sitting there sulking. We've had our fun, now you must help me clean it up. Worzel Gummidge, there's work to be done.
Look, the only work I does is scaring rooks. And as there ain't no rooks in here to scare, I ain't got no work to do, so there.
Well, what about all this mess? We can't leave Mrs. my drawing room like this. We must clear it up at once.
Clearing up is women's work, so you clear it up.
Take that room.
I shan't. Them has made the mess and clean it up. You threw the first cake, then you threw the first jelly, and you threw the first egg.
Right, then I'll throw the first bucket of water.
Wait a bucket. All right. Look, fun and games is one thing, but getting my straw wet's another.
If you ruin my pretty face, I'll set you on fire!
Oh, yeah!
If you'll just come in for a moment, Mr. Peters, the hire car may not be available for the afternoon, in which case I shall have to ask you to drive me down to Partington Hall. I shall tell Lady Partington I've had to borrow the gardener's car. You won't mind, I'm sure. Lazy, good-for-nothing housemaid of mine. The moment my back is turned, she's in there watching television. I bet she's sitting there with her feet up.
Please!